Hello, welcome back. So we're gonna get right to it. I'm not gonna waste our time, and today should be pretty straightforward. We're still gonna be working on the sections. I'm giving myself at least 30 minutes worth of work time because I gotta go get back to doing the other video. But for the most part, this should be a pretty straightforward stream. Okay, let's see what do we got. Looking at what we've worked on, we did section 6 and 7 yesterday. So loneliness and location, and the self and isolation. Okay. So while I was working on the other video today, I actually was able to come up with a couple of sections that I probably will end up adding to this. So section 8 will be the digital aspect in isolation, or something along those lines. I just got to find out a better title for that, but we'll do that first, then we'll see what else I'll add. But again, give myself at least like 30 minutes worth of work time today. Okay, let's see. What do we want to do here? What do we want to do? Let's call it digital isolation. Section 8. Digital isolation. Don't drink unless you're an adult. This Four Loko will be gone eventually. Okay. So digital isolation. This is gonna be good for security breach because the fast watch, definitely. Alright, let's do like this. Modern horror. That's involved. The empty hallways and the haunts locations and abandoned buildings. Abandoned towns. We'll do that. Abandoned setting. We won't make it just for a town. Abandoned settings. Modern horror has evolved from haunts locations and abandoned settings. It now hides in the connection itself. Actually, dealing with Gregory and Ruin is going to be a good example of this too, but we'll get to there when we get to there. Modern horror has evolved from haunts location and abandoned settings. It now hides in the connection itself. The more connected we become, the more isolated we can feel. Alright, so modern horror has evolved from the haunted locations and abandoned settings. It now hides in the connection itself. The more connected we become, the more isolated we can feel. So, online spaces, cameras, cameras watch, messages ping. Wait, no, let's not do that just yet. We'll give the examples later. So online spaces, security systems. security systems, and surveillance. Creates online spaces, security system surveillance creates a false sense of companionship. Case in point being, Resident Evil 4 with Hunnigan before Sadler does. Yeah, we you ain't doing that. No, we're not Sadler. Well, Salazar/Sadler cuts comms. Hunnigan was your companion until she stopped being your companion because the plot demanded it. You built that connection, and now the connection is gone. Online spaces, security systems, and surveillance creates a false sense of companionship. And now we can give the example. Cameras watch. Cameras watch. Messages ping. We can definitely do that now. Messages ping. Messages ping. Voices echo. Voices echo. So online spaces, security systems, and surveillance creates a false sense of companionship. Cameras watch, messages ping, voices echo. But none of them reach you. Okay. Alright, the security breach definitely fits into this. Because, again, Gregory communicating with Cassie. That might not be Gregory at all. Yeah, that'll work. Security breach. Shows this. With Gregory. We'll put that in quotation marks. I watch too many map videos. The Gregory. Okay, yeah, we can go with that. So online spaces, security systems, and surveillance creates a false sense of companionship. Cameras watch, messages ping, voices echo, but none of them reach you. Security breach ruin shows this. The Gregory that's communicating through the fast watch to Cassie might not be him at all. Even though I'm off duty, I'm always on duty. Give me a second. Okay. What do I want to do here? Horde can thrive in this. Yeah, can thrive in this contradiction. Mostly because can put trust there, actually. You're being reliant on data, but oh, one swear. I swear I'm gonna have a swear jar just right next to me. Every time I just toss out a random swear, I'm just gonna toss $1 in there. Because I cuss a lot. Not on purpose, mind you. I just have a very bad potty mouth. Well, it's because you're being reliant on data, so the human connection isn't there. And rules. Also, shout outs to Roxy. Man. First, Gregory takes your eyes, and Cassie has to pretty much shut you down. Yeah. Gregory's a little asshole. I'm just saying. Don't mind me. I'm just saying what's coming off the top of my head. Gregory's a little asshole. Playing my phrase like, wait, what? You're taking parts of my friends and giving it to me? But why? Well, we could trade you, but why? I'm gonna write something, but I don't know if it's gonna work. This over-reliance. In a sense, can be a form of isolation. Because it can promise like damn it, how the hell do I want to word this? There's a thought in my head I just can't put into words right now. This over-reliance in a sense can be a form of isolation. Where the trust in technology can guarantee safety, but it distances you from reality. There we go. God, that was annoying. The trust in isolation, the trust in technology could promise safety, but it deepens. No, that was annoying. It deepens the distance between you and reality. There we go. That was annoying. Alright, so digital isolation. What time is it? Alright. Modern horror has evolved from the haunted locations and abandoned settings. It now hides in the connection itself. The more connected we are, the more isolated we can feel. Online spaces, security systems, and surveillance creates a false sense of companionship. Cameras watch, messages ping, voices echo, but none of them reach you. Security breach ruin shows this. The Gregory that's communicating through the fast watch to Cassie might not be him at all. Horror can thrive on this contradiction. Mostly because you're being reliant on data and lose a sense of human connection. This over-reliance in a sense could be a form of isolation. The trust in technology could promise safety, but it deepens the isolation. No, it deepens the distance, actually. I forgot to write that. Between you and reality. This is why we proofread. Okay, I think that's good. So we've talked about, well, how long have we streamed this for? About 15 minutes? 15 minutes? Yeah, 15 minutes. Another 15 minutes, I gotta definitely go have some dinner. and I gotta continue working on the other video. We're about 15 minutes. We're about halfway done. I stopped at the 15-minute mark with the audio editing. So the video is looking to be, it's gonna be more than 30 minutes long for sure, but it's looking like it's gonna be around like 35 minutes. So I did kind of goof up a little bit when I was like dubbing that because yeah, slurs show up from time to time because of prior injuries that are still recovering, mind you. But no, we're looking at least 35 minutes. So, all right, we talked about spaces that turn against you. That's fine. We talked about the weight of silence, memory and distorted perception, helplessness, the mental repercussions, and that inner voice that can be made, loneliness and location, the self and isolation. And we talked about digital isolation. How about I love the ambience in the song, by the way. I hear the zombies in the background. How about we talk about the remnants of humanity? Like, using Silent Hill as an example, when you're in like the fog world, you see there were signs of life before, but there's no one there anymore. But the signs of life are clearly there. Yeah. The remnants of humanity? Echoes of humanity. All right, that's good. That's a good one. Yeah, that ties into literally everything because obviously RE4, you see what's going on with the villagers, and they're you can see remnants of the structure they had before Las Plagas. Silent Hill F is obvious because it's a Silent Hill game. Shit hits the fan. Like people disappear. Besides Hinako's friends that were there in the beginning, they were there. But oh fuck, no spoilers. I can't talk about spoilers in this one because people are still playing through Silent Hill F. Shit, Hinako is cool. Well, FNAF, obviously the Pizzaplex was, I mean, it was running. We won't talk about how Sun and Moon's playpen is pretty much a death trap because there's open generators just around. That's another story, but there are remnants of the business being run. And obviously, yeah. All right. We get it. We get it. I hope. So, Section 8, Echoes of Humanity. Okay. So, even in isolation, the remnants of people remain. Remain. What do I want to wear this? The society that once thrived in desolate village. Oh god, I'm being so cringy here. in a pizzaplex that shows signs of dwindling life in a town hidden in fog. A pizzaplex that shows try to be a little bit better. Even in isolation, the remnants of people remain. The society that once thrived in a desolate village, the signs of dwindling life in a town hidden in fog. A pizza place that shows signs of recent life, recent use. I think Silent Hill is very notorious for this, especially like with the fog world. It's like, damn, there's cars here, there's shops, there's everything. It shows like this place was used, but the place is abandoned. Well, abandoned. Remember, Laura, the Silent Hill that James sees is very different from what Laura sees. So these traces remind the player that reminds the player of what once was. Okay, that's good. And as usual, if anybody ever has a recommendation or a request, just let me know. I do have my own projects that I do. Like this is one of my projects, but I do take requests, and those take top priority. The only request right now I have is just the Golden Sun one, but that's a long term project, like very long, because that's a whole entire JRPG that I'm doing. But yeah, just if anybody ever has a request, just let me know. 9 times out of 10, I'll probably know the lore, because I had a very boring childhood, which I just read. And even in IRL now, I do nothing besides go to work and hurry up and wait. You'll learn in the military that we do nothing the majority of the time until something pops off when we're going home. Oh, fuck! This would have been a good horror movie tie-in for this one. Because horror movies thrive on this, especially like if you watch one of those old Friday the 13th movies. Oh yeah, so horror uses these elements. Uses these elements. No, remnants. Uses these remnants as emotional traps. Presence of the absence. Like, wow, this campfire is freshly lit. Where is everybody at? They're probably dead. Friend horror. For the presence of the absent. Oh, this would have been a good horror movie tie-in. You're surrounded by the evidence of life, but nothing's around. I cannot spell tonight. That's the ongoing gag. I can spell perfectly fine, but when I'm streaming, all hell just breaks loose. You're surrounded by signs of life, but nothing to show for it. But no signs of it. And again, I'm gonna try to be as spoiler free as possible here with Silent Hill, because I know people still playing it. So what these three games do, they scatter remnants of human life. Like there are signs of activity, there's no humans to show for it. Scatter signs. This forces players to confront what isolation gets rid of. Confronts. Or every other Fatal Frame game, especially Fatal Frame 2. Especially Fatal Frame 2. Connection, empathy, and belonging. Those are all erased. All right. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, let's see what we got tonight because it is time for me to get dinner. All right, so modern section 8. All these bad eyes of mine. Section 8, digital isolation. Modern horror has evolved from the haunted locations and abandoned settings. It now hides in the connection itself. The more connected we become, the more isolated we can feel. Online spaces, security systems, and surveillance creates a false sense of companionship. Cameras watch, messages ping, voices echo, but none of them reach you. Security Breach Ruin shows this. The Gregory that's communicating through the fast watch to Cassie might not be him at all. Horror can thrive on this contradiction, mostly because you're being reliant on data and lose the sense of human connection. This over-reliance in a sense can be a form of isolation. The trust in technology could promise safety, but it deepens the distance between you and reality. Okay. Section that That's section 9. Jesus Christ, I'm getting so blind these days. Alright, section 9, Echoes of Humanity. Even in isolation, the remnants of people remain. The society that once thrived in a desolate village, the signs of dwindling life in a town hidden in fog, and a pizzaplex that shows signs of recent use. These traces remind players of what once was. Horror uses these remnants as emotional traps, the presence of the absent. They're surrounded by signs of life, but there's no sign of it. Resident Evil 4, Silent Hill F, and Security Breach Ruin scatter signs of human life to the player. This forces the player to confront what isolation gets rid of: connection, empathy, and belonging. Alright. Okay, that's good stuff. We did about 30 minutes of work, like I promised. Unfortunately, I do have to get back to working on that other video. We're about halfway done with the audio. I am trying to get that released in the next week or so, so be patient with that one. That one's going to be a long one. This one's probably going to be pushing at least an hour long because we're doing a lot of stuff here. This will have a myth tie-in. I just gotta figure out which myths I'm going to be using. Anyways, besides that, have a good rest of your evening. We'll do some more tomorrow.